And this episode 15 is called Exactly How We Planned. So I'm assuming Tasha and TARIQ have planned to kill Ghost all along. So yeah. It's kind of self-explanatory. If I'm wrong or right, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of ready for this series to be over. And for us to move on to the Mary J. Blige series. But ladies and gentlemen, here is my review of the last episode of Power. The first part of it, the first show, I guess, in three, two, one. Y'all, I'm 9 episodes. I'm 9 minutes in, and I think I know what's gonna happen because at the end of the take episode, they was like, uh, they showed who the killer was, but we couldn't see it. Only take could see it, and now they got this gun. Um, she finna steal this gun from her dude she messing around with. So while Tasha or Tariq might kill Ghost, I feel like her dude finna get framed for it. And if that happens, I'm mad they showed me this in 9 minutes. Like, it's ridiculous if that is what happens. But I'm gonna keep watching. So y'all, I'm taking pauses during the episode to talk to y'all before just going to the end and giving a review. So I remember some of the stuff. But I really like this extended scene between Tasha and Ghost at the apartment. Because she's like, did you ever love me? And he was like, yeah. And a part of me still does. He said, this man, the man I am now, you don't love this nigga. You love the greatest drug dealer in New York history or whatever. And that's what they had did the callback to that, I think at the beginning of the episode or early in this episode or something like that. So I like this scene. Really, kind of made Tasha like, dang, you right. But yeah, I'm tired of Tyreek. I'm tired of them trying to do the most of Tyreek. I kind of agree with Ghost right here saying that, like, we save him too much. He needs to save himself for, take suffer some consequences. But, I don't have kids. I don't know what Tasha going through. But I kind of relate to Ghost in here. But we'll see what happens at the rest of this episode. I got a little less than an hour left. Man, I kind of like this episode so far. These back-to-back good scenes will go. Well, because not James St. Patrick, Omar Hardwick is in them. But these back-to-back good scenes with him and Tasha and then him and Tyreek, they good. What y'all hate about this episode? I ain't got there yet. I almost ain't got there yet. But yeah, him beating up on Tyreek, they trying to make me feel bad for Tyreek, but I don't. I be like, yes, Ghost, get him every time. Tyreek right here crying right now. Y'all don't see he over there crying, but yeah, a lot of stuff left. I still don't know who shot Ghost, quote unquote, but I'm intrigued. Should have been Tommy or somebody. Tyreek ain't deserve this. Tyreek did not deserve to kill Ghost. Um, yeah, I got about 27 minutes left, but I'm still adamant. Tyreek didn't deserve to kill Ghost. I got like 21 minutes left, but I just want to say hi. I like how Jamie slash Ghost has effed them over in death because they can't get none of their money. Thought they was about to be balling. Can't get nothing. Tasha looks so mad. I wish I could see her. Damn, Tasha down bad. I told y'all this. But I told y'all this was gonna happen from the beginning of the episode. This was so predictable. Tasha's so stupid. I got about 8 minutes, but when did Tyreek graduate from high school? When did Tyreek graduate from high school? Y'all, we can't make this up. We cannot make this up. When did Tyreek graduate from high school? When? When was Tyreek a senior? Huh? He literally just went to a high school to see if his teacher get arrested. And now he ain't. We can't. I can't make this up. Why did we watch this show? It's so bad. Well, well, well. We've made it to the end of Power Book One. Power. And what a journey it's been, guys. Um, I'm glad it's over. Uh, First thing I do want to say that um, thank you, Courtney Kip, 50 Cent, for giving us this series we enjoyed over the past few years. Because despite the rough moments the last few seasons have brought us, we ultimately enjoyed this series a lot. Um, and gonna miss it to an extent because uh, it's not really going anywhere because you have four spinoffs that you're working on. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not interested in all of them. I'm gonna give Power Book 2 Ghost a shot because of Mary J. Blige. I don't really care about sex. I don't really care about a Tyreek led show. I'm more interested to seeing Mary J. Blige and what's her character role gonna be. And I don't think this one is gonna be as drug heavy. But I'm also interested to see why it's called Ghost. Because that brings me to the point I was just talking to my friend Natalie right the episode. Is Ghost dead? Like, I know we saw him shot. I know we saw blood leaking. I know she said he's dead. But I also was told Wes was dead from How to Get Away with Murder. And I just finally caught all the way up. And at the end of the mid-series finale of the last season, this Negro popped up. So until I see a funeral for Ghost, I'm gonna assume he ain't dead yet. Um, One of the reasons I don't think he dead yet is because he was too meticulous, too planned in his petty in death. He ain't leave them a dime. Ain't when you saw the look on Tasha's face when she found out he ain't leave her shit. Should be memed everywhere. But I'm watch Power Book 2 Ghost. Um, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna give Raising Kanan a shot, but if it involves those little young characters we saw at the end of this episode, they need to recast. I'm gonna. I don't really care for the Tate led show. Influence, I believe, is gonna be called, and I'm kind of intrigued about listening. I really want to see the Tommy show come into fruition. The Force show, Power Book 4, no Power Book 5, Force. So yeah, I'm intrigued. But instant reaction on this episode. I think the biggest thing for me is I'm still trying to figure out when Tyreek graduated from high school. I'm just trying to figure out how you can go to high school one day and the next day you're not in high school no more. You in college. Um, I know they do this thing called semesters in college. I went to college. So I'm just semesters. I just know you just can't get in college. Like you just can't enroll in college and the next day you in it, right? Um, and I know it's a thing called a high school diploma or a GED, or certificate or something that you need to get into a college. And despite who you have on your side, you can't just go from high school to college without, certain things. Um, you know, so I still don't know how that happened. Because they literally just showed us like 20 minutes before that of him going to his high school, trying to check on the teacher that got arrested. So yeah, that was interesting. One thing I thought about this episode is maybe in the spinoff or the sequel, they're gonna show us why who the little girl he had met in college was working for. Unanswered questions. I'm assuming it's gonna be end up being Mary J. Blige to some extent. But other than that, they just kind of left that storyline unanswered. Um, the cute thing was kind of predictable this episode. I knew, and as you can see earlier, probably in some of this video, the cute storyline was a little bit predictable. I knew that she was gonna end up blaming him because she saw that gun, and it made it obvious that she saw that gun. So I knew that was gonna come into play. But I think what this episode showed me more than anything that this was a tragic story. This was kind of a tragedy. Uh, I would say kind of the rise and fall of the St. Patrick's to an extent. We see Ghost die at the height of his career, finally getting everything together at least in his mind, and he is gone. He dies allegedly because I don't know if he did. Um, and then I think the bigger tragedy is kind of for Tasha. Um, because I think what hit home to me in this episode, man, if Tasha just loved Jamie the way for him, she loved who Jamie was and didn't really love Jamie. Um, because she's kind of the product of a lot of this stuff, and she was gonna kill Ghost, but then she realized what was happening. TARIQ killed Ghost. And then TARIQ, uh, and then basically she had everything she wanted because she wanted Ghost dead. She did want Ghost dead. And then it just kind of was a spiral after that. After Ghost died, it was just like nothing but negatives against her because they were still after them, trying to figure out how she can save TARIQ so much and that she couldn't save herself. Um, we see her. Um, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened to Brain for? Brain for? Get none of the inheritance. Nothing's left for her. And then she thinks she's figured it out and saved the day again with the Q and with the Q situation. Thought she had it good. And she fell flat on her face because this man had an alibi. And though she didn't kill Jamie, she's going down for it. And I'm gonna be interested in seeing what her role is in the book too, because she gonna be in jail. Maybe it's gonna be her life in jail. Is there anybody we can think of who went to jail that she might have interactions with? I'm not sure, but I don't know how she's gonna get out of this. But I'm assuming if they gonna have her on the show, she's gonna find a way to get out. But ultimately, I don't think he's dead because why is it called Ghost? Doom 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 doom. So yeah, unless TARIQ takes the mantle of Ghost, but why would you take the mantle of somebody who you hated? So yeah, that's that. I thought this episode had some really powerful moments, as I probably mentioned earlier in the video from some of my reactions during the show. Um, Mainly with Omari and Ghost. Uh, Man, I don't really know what I want to say about this. I'm gonna have to watch it again, do a podcast. I'm just happy Power's over, and I'm intrigued for the sequels. I'm intrigued to see how they're done. And this has been a journey, man. I think with shows like this, we don't want shows to end. I think we don't want shows to end like a lot of our favorite shows, but Power to me is kind of the example of a show that don't let it get bad. Like when it's time, like I know some shows, like for example, the show called The Good Place. They say they want to kind of end on a high note versus trying to keep forcing seasons and the show not being as good as it's always been. And I think we've seen Power probably should have been 4 seasons. Despite, I mean, I know you want to make the money and all that cool stuff. I understand that, but Power's 4 seasons. It might be one of the best TV shows of all time if it's broke down into 4 seasons. But those extra seasons and just kind of the dragging on of stuff kind of hurt the brand as a whole. So I'm not sure people are gonna flock to these sequels as much. Now, as much as I don't want to see TARIQ in the sequel, I'm gonna watch it. So I might be wrong with all I'm saying. Um, but I might not be as entitled or intrigued to stay around. Let's say that to stay around because I was so invested in Power for 4 years, I wasn't gonna stop watching. But these new shows, they gotta be good because I can stop watching them early on. So, man, it's been a journey. I'm gonna miss these characters, but a lot of these characters aren't going anywhere. But Ghost allegedly. So, yeah. That's all I got for now. If I think of some more stuff, I'll probably do a podcast on this episode this week. But y'all, please let me know if y'all have any answers to this question. Please let me know how TARIQ is in college. Please. And we'll be doing these videos and podcasts for when the new series drops this summer, Power Book 2. So, yeah, be on the lookout, you dig?